Hi, I'm Brooklyn.
And I'm Josh.
And we are peer coaches.
We are here to help you find the information and resources you need to plan your degree, including understanding the IUB General Education requirements.
All students at IUB must complete the IU General Education requirements. We asked an advisor to explain why the English composition requirement is called a foundational skills course in the IUB Gen Ed.
Students today are majoring in things that when I was their age didn't exist. Just in the same way that when I was in college, we were studying things that my parents had never heard of. But English composition, the skills that you learn in reading comprehensively and analytically, writing eloquently and persuasively, researching, analyzing, those things were important when our grandparents were alive. So English composition is a constant that runs through education that is important today as it was a long time ago and will continue to be important.
So in other words, the skills you gain here in your English composition courses will never go out of style. And of course, they'll be really useful to you while you're in school. In fact, English composition is an admission requirement for many of the schools at IUB. Next, let's hear the perspective of a freshman when he was taking his English composition course at IU.
I'm taking Writing the World for English composition. And in there we read things like from Greek plays to more recent stories. So over the course of the semester I've learned how to become a better writer and how to make a good valid argument, and it's made a world of difference on my writing.
Writing the World is one of a few English composition courses offered at IUB. Let's hear from a couple other students about the courses they took for English composition.
So for my English composition requirement, I did take an English course my first semester in Bloomington, and it was a topics course, and it was actually a topic that revolved around freak shows and spectacles of otherness. I ended up being really happy that I chose this course because not only was it really interesting, I actually learned a lot about freak shows in the 1920s and got to see movies that had been really famous at the time, and read a lot of really cool books that I wouldn't have read if I had just taken one of the basic courses.
For high school, to me, it was more to how to analyze or enjoy some kind of reading or poem, but here it's about actual practice on how to write things, how to do the research to write a good paper. Now I'm pursuing to be professors, like going to grad school. It's really essential skill for me to be able to write a good paper. And especially, I didn't know how to do the citation before, and I learned it from there, and it's really helpful.
That reminds me, Brooklyn, did you know that international students have to take an English proficiency exam during their orientation at IUB? And that based on how they do on that exam, they may be required to take English language improvement courses before they can take English composition?
I did not know that. It must be really challenging to go to school in a completely different country and have to take all your courses in a second language.
Yeah, just expressing yourself in your native language can be challenging.
That's true. All students at IUB need those English composition skills to be successful in college. Now let's hear back from the academic advisor about ways students can test out of English composition or enter IUB with English composition credit.
A student might be exempt from English composition when they come into IU. You can be exempt through your critical reading score in the SAT, through your score in the ACT English exam, or maybe you took an AP exam in English in high school, or a dual credit course. And it's important to mention that to your advisor. If you think that you do have credit for English comp, mention that.
If you don't have an English composition credit already, be sure to read about the different English composition courses. Remember that some have interesting topics, and talk with your advisor about what course would be best for you. In the next Gen Ed video, we'll talk about another foundational skills course, the mathematical modeling requirement. If you have any questions about IUB Gen Ed, please contact us.